Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I'm going to be showing you, as best I can, in the most detailed way, every single sketch location that I found so far in the game. So, for blacksmithing in this game, if you're unfamiliar with it for some reason, but you're still interested in watching a video about the locations of sketches, you need sketches to craft things, okay? So if you want to be a blacksmith, you need the sketches. And then, of course, you need the materials as well. So most of the sketches can be purchased, and most of them can be purchased in Kuttenberg. That's the good news. There are quite a few of them that cannot be. I have found the loot locations where you'll be able to find those, and I'll show you each one of those. And most of them can be purchased at multiple locations. So I will probably go through, since I've prepared little slides that show the exact locations in what I consider a very easy to follow way. So I'll probably show you each location for each one. So some of them are going to have like 7 locations where you can get it. Some of them it's just going to be 1. So with all that being said, let's just dive on in, and we're going to start off with the Farmer's Horseshoes. So the Farmer's Horseshoes can be purchased at Takov, Trotsky, Kuttenberg Swordsmith 3, Kuttenberg Swordsmith 4, Miskowitz Blacksmith, the Sukdol Blacksmith, Sigismund's Camp's Blacksmith, the Blacksmith in Grund, the Blacksmith at Devil's Den, and the Blacksmith by the Kuttenberg Horse Trader. And keep in mind, when I talk about the numbered Kuttenberg smiths, this is the map I'm referencing. So you can see there are 7 distinct sword/blacksmiths in Kuttenberg that sell, well, lots of stuff, but for the purposes of this video, schematics, and I've numbered them based on the order from the gate. There's a reason why number 7 is number 7, and it's not like number 3 or something like that, and it's because I can never get into that blacksmith. The only way to get into this blacksmith is to pick the lock and go in, and I've done that a couple times, but for me, no matter what playthrough I'm on, I've started new saves and tried it, I've gone through and tried it at every different point in the game. This blacksmith is always locked during the day. The blacksmith is just standing in there, doing nothing, as if I can go there, but if I try to go in, I get arrested. So this is an annoying bug that I've experienced a lot. He probably sells schematics. I couldn't tell you, though. But anyway, moving on from the Farmer's Horseshoes to the Knight's Horseshoes, these can also be purchased at quite a few places, including Trotsky Castle, Kuttenberg number 3 Swordsmith, the Kuttenberg number 4 Swordsmith, the Miskowitz Blacksmith, the Sukdol Blacksmith, the Blacksmith at Sigismund's Camp, the Grund Blacksmith, the Blacksmith at the Devil's Den, and once again the Blacksmith by the Kuttenberg Horse Trader. Moving on to the Nobleman's Horseshoes, this one can be purchased at Sigismund's Camp, or the Blacksmith at Sigismund's Camp, the Blacksmith in the town of Grund, and the Blacksmith by the Kuttenberg Horse Trader. Moving on to our first weapon, we have the Homemade Hunting Sword. I've only found 1 location where this can be purchased, and that's the number 2 Kuttenberg Blacksmith. Then we have the Hunting Sword, and this one can be purchased at 2 locations. The first one is in the first map, and it can be purchased at the Blacksmith in Takov. And then the second location you can purchase this is the number 2 Kuttenberg Blacksmith. Our next weapon is the Falchion. I've only found 1 location where this can be purchased, and is the number 2 Kuttenberg Blacksmith. Our next weapon is the Noble's Hunting Sword. This one can be purchased at the Blacksmith in Devil's Den. Our next weapon is the Work Axe. That can be purchased in the first map, and it can be purchased at the Takov Blacksmith. Our next weapon is the Carpenter's Axe, and this one actually can be purchased probably in more than 1 location, but I only have one that I found for sure, and it's the Troskowitz Carpenter, so it's also in the first region of the game. Then our Bearded Axe, which is the next weapon, can be purchased in quite a few locations. First of all, it can be purchased at the Takov Blacksmith, then it can be purchased at the first Kuttenberg Swordsmith, then it can be purchased at the second Kuttenberg Swordsmith, and then the third Kuttenberg Swordsmith, and the fourth Kuttenberg Swordsmith, and the fifth Kuttenberg Swordsmith. And if that wasn't enough, it can also be purchased at the Miskowitz Blacksmith. So this one can be purchased in quite a few locations. The Broad Axe is our next one. This one can be purchased in the first region of the game at Trotsky Castle from the blacksmith there, and then the number 5 Kuttenberg Blacksmith in the second region of the map, and also the Miskowitz Blacksmith, the Grund Blacksmith, and the Blacksmith at the Devil's Den. Moving on to the military sword, which is probably our most common arming sword in the game. This one can be purchased in the first region of the map at the Takov Blacksmith. It can also be purchased at the 2nd Kuttenberg Swordsmith, as well as the 4th Kuttenberg Swordsmith, the blacksmith in the town of Sukdol, and the blacksmith that lives at the Devil's Den. Our next weapon is the Knight's Sword. I've only found one location where you can purchase the sketch for this, and it is at Trotsky Castle from the blacksmith there. Blacksmith Osina. Our next weapon is the Basilard. This can be purchased in 2 locations that I found, the number 1 and the number 2 Kuttenberg Swordsmiths. So both the number 1 and the number 2 Swordsmith will have the Basilard sketch. Then the Broadsword is our next one. This one can be purchased in 2 locations. The first one is the 2nd Swordsmith in Kuttenberg. And then the other location, also in the 2nd region of the map, is the Miskowitz Blacksmith. So you can purchase the Broadsword from both of them. Our first Cuman weapon on the list, the Cuman Fokos, can be purchased from the blacksmith at Sigismund's camp, and I haven't found it anywhere else. The Cuman Shashka, our second Cuman weapon, can also be purchased at the blacksmith in Sigismund's camp, and much like the Fokos, I've also only found this one location for the sketch for the Shashka. Moving on to our first longsword, with the common longsword, this one can be purchased at a bunch of places, so we'll just go through them decently quick. In the first region of the map, you can purchase it from the Takov Blacksmith right away, and then after that, you can purchase it from the blacksmith in Trotsky Castle. Then once you get to the Kuttenberg region, you can get it from the Kuttenberg Swordsmith number 1, the Kuttenberg Swordsmith number 3, and the Kuttenberg Swordsmith number 5. Then you can also get it from the Miskowitz Blacksmith, the Sukdol Blacksmith, the Devil's Den Blacksmith, as well as Kuttenberg Blacksmith number 6. So quite a few locations for the common longsword. Then the Battle Longsword, our second longsword, can be purchased at the 1st Kuttenberg Swordsmith, the 2nd Kuttenberg Swordsmith, the 5th Kuttenberg Swordsmith, the blacksmith at Sukdol, the blacksmith in Grund, and the blacksmith at Devil's Den. Our next weapon is the Broad Longsword. This one can be purchased in 3 different locations, including the number 5 Kuttenberg Swordsmith, the blacksmith at Sigismund's camp, and the blacksmith that can be found at the Devil's Den. The Knight's Longsword can be purchased in only one location that I've found so far, and that is the number 6 Kuttenberg Blacksmith. Now, it is possible, I've heard people say that you can find a sketch for it in Takov at the beginning of the game, but I never have. So if you know where that is, definitely let me know down in the comments section, but as far as I know, that could just be something that people are saying. Our next longsword is the Duelling Longsword, which is the best longsword that you can craft in the game, and this one is the first one that we're going to be looking at that cannot be purchased anywhere, but you can find it at this location that I'm showing you on screen. So it's called the Locked Dugout, and it is located north of Old Kutna. You have to go in, lockpick through the door, and there will be a smuggler inside, and he's automatically going to be hostile, so you have to kill him. Then inside a locked chest, inside there, you will find the sketch for the Dueling Longsword. So that's where you can find that sketch. Our next sketch that you have to go find is the Knight's Axe. This one can be found in a chest at the Humble Knights camp, which can be found north of Sedlitz Monastery. So typically the way you'll find this, or you could find it most organically, would be that you'll go here to do the mission for the Humble Knight. And you'll also, in doing this mission, be able to find another sketch. Now, this other sketch isn't one that you can actually pick up, but in doing the mission for him, you'll be able to find out how to forge Sir Valentine's sword, which is one of the best arming swords in the game, so you definitely want to do this mission. But after you've done that, you can go to where I'm showing you on screen, and there's a chest at his camp, and it's locked, and once you get inside it, you can find the sketch for the Knight's Axe, which is one of the best axes in the game. So that's where you get that. Brunswick's Poleaxe is fairly simple and straightforward. You get this one when you're doing if you have the pre-order bonus, the Lion's Crest DLC, you'll get it from the scribe in Troskowitz when he tells you about the armor location. So you don't have to do anything special other than just talk to him and get this one. The Horseman's Pick is our next weapon. This one can not be purchased anywhere that I've ever found, but you can find it where I'm showing you here on the screen at the location called the Caravan Remains, and that will be between these 2 inns here, west on the main road heading out of Kuttenberg. It's located right here alongside this wagon in a unlocked chest. So if you want to get your hands on the Horseman's Pick sketch, that's where you do it. Our next weapon is the Executioner's Axe. This one is actually located in the first region of the game, north of Troskowitz. You can find it at the location called the Overgrown Dugout. Inside the dugout, which is the only building at this location, you'll find a, I believe, medium-locked chest, and inside you can find the Executioner's Axe sketch. The next weapon is another one that can't be purchased anywhere as far as I know. It's the Shell Hunting Sword. And this one you can find at a medium-locked chest in this enemy camp that I'm showing you here on screen, which can be found roughly between Old Kutna and Staki, I believe is how you pronounce the name of that settlement. Basically, this location will have, I believe, 5 armed bandits for you to take out, so it is definitely a hostile location. And there are 2 buildings in it. One building, which will be located slightly up the hill in the camp, has a chest in it that just has some valuables and a skill book. The other chest, the one you're looking for, is the medium-locked normal one, which I have in the picture on the screen for you here, and that'll be in the building in the lower part of the camp, and that one is where you're going to find the sketch for the Shell Hunting Sword. So as far as I know, it's the only location where you can get that sketch. Our next weapon is the Noble's Sword. This one can be found where I'm showing you here on screen at another enemy camp. I believe this one also has 5 decently heavily armed hostiles at it, so after you've killed them, you can find it in the further south portion of the camp, so the camp's kind of split in half with like a narrow walkway between it, and in the portion that's further to the south, you'll find this chest sitting on the ground, which I'm showing you, and it will be locked, and inside it you'll find the sketch for the Noble's Sword, which is one of the best one-handed swords that you can craft in the game. So that's the location for the Noble's Sword, and like I said, that is roughly located, it's in this little forest peninsula, which is located between Staki and Bylany. Our next weapon is the Common Sabre. I've only found one location to find this sketch, and it is at the Hanged Man's Satchel, which can be found southwest of Horseshoe. So as I'm showing you on the map here, you don't have to go far outside of Horseshoe to find this one. It's in like this little quarry type of thing. You'll find this guy hanging there on a tree, and then down below his feet in another like shrub brush, you'll find a satchel hanging there, and inside that satchel is the sketch for the Common Sabre. Our last weapon that I've definitively found a location for where to find the sketch is the Ataman Sabre. This one, I don't know if it can be found anywhere else, but it cannot be purchased anywhere that I've found, and you can only find it in this one spot. So this one is in the first bedroom on the 2nd floor of the winery north of Kuttenberg. So basically, if you're walking straight in through the front gate of the winery, which is north of Kuttenberg, which you can see on the image I have on the screen, you'll see a building to your right, and there will be a staircase on the outside of this building. If you walk up that staircase, you'll go in the first door on your right. Then, if you go through that door, there'll be another door inside there on your right. You go through that one. That's the bedroom you want to be in, and you'll see this chest that I have highlighted on the image on the screen in front of you, and you go inside there, and the sketch for the Ataman Sabre is in there. So that is every single sketch that I have located in this game so far. I hope this video was useful. I hope it wasn't too boring, but I didn't want to have to try jumping around and try showing you each and every store, because all of the background noise and everything was just going to make that way more of a pain in the ass to record and edit than I felt was necessary. So that's why I made these little location cards. So I hope that was useful, and I hope all the people that have been asking for where to find the sketch locations are happy with this. There's one other sketch that I've heard people saying they found in the game that I haven't personally found yet, and that would be the Racing Horseshoes sketch. They keep saying that you find it somewhere in Kuttenberg. The most specific thing I've heard is people saying that you can find it somewhere over in this quarter of Kuttenberg here, kind of by the horse trader, which I guess would make sense. But I've searched everywhere over, well, maybe not everywhere because I haven't found it, but I've searched a lot over here. Maybe it's underground, I don't know, but that's the only one that I've heard people have been saying they found, but I have not found it. So that is all the sketch locations in KCD2. Hope this video was useful, but that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.